I'm recording. I'm using something new because now in Google Meets um, you can't record unless you have a premium uh, account. So I'm trying something new. So hopefully it all works. Because I know Amanda cannot log in tonight. And I haven't heard from anyone else. Have you, Janice?
No, I have not.
We'll give everyone another minute to see if everyone's, because usually I'm rushing. I'm the one who's really bad.
How's everybody doing?
Very good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I was rushing too, though. So
Yeah.
I actually forgot, and I never forget. And I had set my alarm for 6:30, and I'm like, why is my alarm going off? So thank goodness I set it, and it hit me what it was. So
Hey, Jesse. And this shouldn't take a long time. We're just going to go over some of the things that we're just really going to go over the website.
And try to answer any questions if anybody has any about the process.
Yes, that too. Sorry. Thank you, Janice.
Sorry, I have my camera off because I'm driving and I just didn't want to give anybody car sickness.
That's fine. That's fine. So we can go ahead and get started because I know it's 7 o'clock and everyone wants to get their get their nightly routines on and that kind of thing. So I'm Christine Teig. I am one of the co-chairs along with Janice, and I am a teacher librarian in DeKalb County Schools. And this is my second year to co-chair, and I was on the committee before chairing. And I'll let Janice go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Janice Verdes. I guess this is my third year co-chairing, and I was a member before signing on to co-chair. And I'm an early intervention program teacher in Athens, Georgia. Nancy, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Nancy Heiss, and I just started a PhD program at UGA. So this is my first year working with the Book Awards program, but I also did my master's at UGA, and so some of you might recognize me. I worked with, the conference for 2 years. So yeah.
Sharon?
hi, I'm Sharon Britt, and I am a school librarian at Parsons Elementary School in Swanee, Georgia. And I also got my master's and my undergraduate degree at Georgia, so UGA. So anyway, that's kind of it. This is my third year on the committee.
Yeah. Jesse?
Yes, hi, I'm Jessie Hudson. I'm also a Georgia graduate, so go Dogs. I am, this is my second year on the committee, and I'm currently the lower school librarian at Holy Innocents Episcopal School in Atlanta. This is my fifth year actually doing this. I went back to grad school as a grown-up to do my master's in library science, so this is kind of a fun career 2.0.
Janine?
That's it.
Thank you, Jesse.
Hi, I'm a Nittany Lion. I'm sorry. So I'm not a dog yet. I mean, I guess there's always a doctorate, right? A specialist or a doctorate. But I don't think Big Ten and SEC really have that much of a my husband's a Gator, so we won't go into that, tonight.
Yeah, we should keep that a secret.
Anyway, I'm thrilled to be here. It's my first year on the committee and just so excited to learn from you all and just be a part of this. I'm a media specialist at Mill Creek Elementary School in Statesboro, Georgia, and just really excited to be here.
Thank you. Beth?
Hi, I'm Beth Ratliff. I am the Youth Services Coordinator, which is just the fancy name for the Children's Librarian at the Winder Public Library in Winder, Georgia. And I did not go to Georgia. I went to Valdosta State for my bachelor's and my master's in library science. Sorry. But I do live down the street, so I can kind of hear that bell ring when it rings, which seems to be all the time when you're staying down there. And I'm just excited to be here. I've already started reading some of the books to my critics at Storytime, asking them to give me a thumbs up and thumbs down. So I'm excited to see if we pick what they picked.
It's always interesting to see what the kids like and what the adults like. I do it.
Lots of books about underpants.
So I do it too. I test my kids too. So we'll go ahead and get started. The agenda, we did the introductions. Sorry, I have another screen over here. I'm just looking at it. Once you start looking for books and you find some books that you think should be on the list, go ahead and add them to the list. If you're having like problems finding books, I usually just type in like brand new picture book, Google, brand new picture books for 2024 or 2023 or, best picture books and that kind of thing. That was one way how I found a lot of books. If you're familiar with Edelweiss, they have a lot of free books. And that's one way that you can find books. Sharon or Janice or Jesse, do you have any? And school library journal and that kind of thing. It's always good to find books that I found.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, thanks. So, yeah, I love to also hit. There's some really cool boutique bookstores in and around the city that have some fabulous purchasing, right? And they are just those purchasers are just a wealth of resource, right? I mean, that's all they do all day long. And then in terms of getting access to those books, YouTube is really wonderful. You can, watch people read the story and you get to see the pictures. I found that those two, for me, have been little silver bullets.
Yeah.
I go to Barnes and Noble is one thing too, like you were saying, little bookstores, but I also go there too. But at the Gwinnett County Public Library, they have in their search a feature that is new. You can sort by new picture books.
Oh.
So I do that through
Very
the
cool.
library, and that's really helpful. And I just go through and I'd like to read the physical book a lot if I can. And so I know occasionally I have to go to YouTube, but if I can't get it, but so I just get them from the public library a lot of times if I can. So that's one place that I look as well.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, like I live in Fulton County. I mean, I live in the city of Atlanta and DeKalb County, so I can use both libraries. But Pines, you can also use Pines too. I've never done it, but I know people have used Pines in the past. Just go to your public library, and you can find out more information about it. So, let's see. I kind of have all this stuff on the website. So I was thinking maybe instead of going through the agenda, just kind of going through the website and show you guys a bit about that instead of just hitting bullets on the agenda. Does that sound good, Janice?
Yeah.
All right. And we'll cover everything. Oh, hold on. I need to share my screen. I always forget to do that.
Christine, before I forget, when is the first round of our book suggestions due? I need to put that on the calendar.
We'll go over the calendar right now.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Oops. I think I'm showing the wrong thing. Sorry. I have a bunch of windows open. It is. I practiced at lunch because I don't usually use Google Meets. So, can y'all see it?
Yes.
Okay. So, this is the welcome page. And if you have your bio, this is the site, this is where all the information is going to be. It's the Georgia Picture Book Committee. Let's see if I can do this. All right. So this is the Georgia Picture Book Committee website, and this bio will go up on the website for the Georgia Children's Picture Book Awards and the conference and that kind of stuff. So you might want to go ahead and, if you have a bio or if you want to update your bio, send it to Nancy, because she's the one who can update the website. So that's one thing we need to do. And then there's the website, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. But let's go to the timeline. That's the main one. So we're having our meeting today. Public nominations end on September 1st. Sharon and I can attest to a publisher getting a hold of the public nominations, and we had to read like 50 extra books that were terrible. So Janice, you said you didn't see any, right?
I did not.
Okay. So Nancy, will you just check to see if we have any public nominations, since it's due on Sunday, and just let us know. And those can be added to our evolving book list.
Okay, so all of the public nominations go on.
Yes.
Okay, so and then I was wondering, I don't know if this is time to ask this, but the publisher nominations, like all the books I'm getting in the book room, do you want a list of those as well?
No, it's just the ones that are nominated online.
Okay.
So anyone can nominate a book, and so if like somebody puts it on there on the nomination list, we have to read it. So, and sometimes they are a lot of self-published books, and you can't get a hold of it, or you have to watch the YouTube, like Jesse was saying. So October 5th is the deadline for book nominations. So we have about a month for everyone to add about 10 books to the list, 10 to 12 books, and just start taking notes, start reading books. And I know it always happens that like somebody wants to do the same book, because there's some like really unpopular ones. So just be mindful of that. If someone else puts it, you need to go ahead and skip it. November 19th, let us know if you're having any difficulties getting a hold of some books. We might have them in the book room. There is a book room at UGA, and I'll let Nancy talk about that towards the end. And you can set up a time where you can go in and you can see the books there. So November 19th, let us know if you have any problems. December 1st, you're gonna read all those books, and you're gonna vote for your top favorites. And I'll show you. We'll talk about the voting in a little bit. And we narrow down the list to 40 books. And then in January or February, we meet up in Athens. And I know, Janine, you're in Statesboro. So you can meet online if you don't feel like driving to Athens. I know it's pretty cool.
I'd actually love to come and see the campus, and I even asked my Gator husband, and he said I've never been to Athens. He said I'll come too. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really a fun little town to go to. And so you can get online if you don't make it. Since you're far away.
Usually over the weekend.
It'll be on a Saturday.
A Saturday. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
It'll be on a Saturday, and we will narrow down that list to 20 finalists, and it can get heated. Just to let you know. So that's when we pick the top 20 books. And also place in the list like your top 20 a couple days in advance, because it does take some time to add up all the votes. And March 21st, the conference is only going to be one day this year. We got the notice today, just like you did. So March 21st, all committee members must be present then too. And I don't know how it's going to be this year, but so we'll find out, because it's going to be one. But we usually present our list, the 20 books on our list, to the conference, and we have a little session, and that's when we share the list, and you get to go for free. Also, you don't have to pay for your conference registration. Are there any questions about dates before I go on? All right. So for the book criteria, excuse me, we'll get about 100 to 120 books. Make sure the book is from 2023 or 2024. They have to be within 2 years. International books are acceptable. Just make sure that they're easily accessible, because sometimes some of them are not. Pick the books high quality for grades K to 4th grade. Wordless books are eligible. Graphic narratives might be somewhat longer. Use your judgment. And you cannot pick any Oliver Jeffers books, because he won this past year for the Ghost book. And we will also make sure that it is not the Caldecott winner. It can be an honor book, but it cannot be a Caldecott winner. So we'll find out. Usually ALA is before we meet, so we shouldn't really have a problem with that. And it cannot be part of a series. It can be the first one in a series. It just can't be like the third one in the series. So think of like Jory John's, like The Good Egg or The Bad Egg, and that kind of thing. Is what I'm thinking of, or like the Pigeon books, Let's see. So one thing I will tell you, I'm just gonna scoot over this stuff. Make sure we expect you to add about 10 to 12 books. And we expect you to read almost all of the books, as many as you can. I know I would spend my weekends just reading children's books. So when I was on it, and I still read the list too, just to see what's on there. And then the other thing I would recommend, here's our list. The only book we could move over from last year, we did not check copyright dates when we were voting last year, and we always have a couple 3 books on reserve, and Nell Plants a Tree was one that we made a substitute. We liked it, but we didn't put it on the list for this year. It was the only one that we could carry over because of the copyright date. So just make sure you add all of this information. We need the author, the illustrator, the publication date, the publisher. Nancy will let us know if it gets put into the book room, the UGA book room, and if there's anything special about the book, you can add that to that. I would recommend to download your own copy of this list and then manipulate it as you can. One thing I do ask is that you do keep these numbers there so people can, like if they associate number 10 with Brandon and the baby, they might have that on their list. So just make sure you keep the numbers and keep everything on our main evolving list the same, but you can manipulate your own list. And are there any questions about that right now? All right. And I do everything. And Janine, I apologize that I did not realize that you were not on Google Groups. I do apologize. So I just.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything and missing out on any meetings or anything. So that's why I reached out.
So
So don't worry.
So this is one of the easiest ways I've found to like keep track of all the emails we send out, unless they're like invites and that kind of thing. Also, you can go back and you can see what we've done in the past. I kept those just so you can see what we talked about in the past, and it might give you an idea of what to expect this year. So that's how we keep up with everyone. And the initial vote for November. So when I first did this, I will be honest, I was a little like discombobulated. So your first group is your top ranked. Those are going to be marked as number 1. And we need these by December 1st. So you're going to go read all the books and you're going to vote for them in your own way. I mean, you're going to vote for not in your own way, but you're going to vote for them however your favorites, or what I even would, like Beth said, I give my kids some say to my students just to see what kids think about the books. But the first group, your top favorites are going to be marked 1, and then you're going to have your top 40. So you'll have your second favorites will be marked 2, your third favorites will be marked 3, and your fourth favorites will be marked 4, and all other remaining books will be marked as 5. If you did not read any of the books, just mark do not read. And most of the time everyone is able to read all the books, so I'm not going to go over all this other stuff, but most of the time we don't have a problem with people not reading the books. And if at the very end, after we make the top 40 list and you're like, oh my gosh, I really, really want Nail Plants a Tree on the list, but it didn't make the top 40. After we send out the top 40 list of what everyone had voted for, and you think there's something on there that you really, really like and think it should be on the list, you can make a case for it, and you can tell everyone why you think it should be on the list, and usually most of the time it will get put on the list, as long as you have a good reason for it. And sometimes, some people just overlook some of the books. Lastly, the finalist meeting. If you have, we will meet at Adderhold Hall. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Adderhold Hall at UGA. It'll probably be towards the end of January or the beginning of February. And we will meet and just plan to be there all day. Sometimes we're there long. Usually the last couple of times we've been there just till noon, and we were able to leave before lunchtime. But just plan to be there. If you know of anything that's coming up, like if you're participating in the Reading Bowl or something like that, find out what the date is and let us know as soon as possible. When if you cannot make it to a date in January or February, it's probably before mid-February, the end of January. If there are any dates that you cannot make, just let us know. And lastly, what was I going to say? We have to meet we meet the same day that the Georgia book committee meets. We're the picture book and then the book committee for the 4th through 8th. We meet the same day as them. So we kind of have to have this, we have to meet up with them at the same time. And you'll be able to see what the books are as long as they vote about the same time. They have their lists at the same time we do. And that is it. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'm gonna come back to you guys, and then we can kind of discuss if y'all have any questions. And I think that's about it. I think I covered everything. Oh, hey Trey, I didn't see you. So are there any questions? Denise, did you want to add anything too?
No, I think you covered it all.
And we had Trey join us. And Trey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm having technical difficulties out here at baseball. But I'm happy to be here. I'm Trey Veazey. I'm now the librarian for early learning at the Galloway School in Atlanta. This is my 3rd time on this merry-go-round. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite things that I get to do each year.
You're our token male.
It's the only time in my life I'll feel the diversity portion.
So if y'all have any questions, and if you have questions and you think about it, like, don't be afraid to ask Janice or me or Nancy. And Nancy, if you want to chime in, if you have any questions, this is my 2nd year. This is Janice's 3rd year as a co-chair. It used to be a UGA professor that was chairing, and they just have too many responsibilities, and they kind of handed it to us, right, Denise?
Yeah. So we're learning as we go as well. So ask your questions, and if we don't know it, we're gonna find out.
And if y'all have any problems with any dates in January, just let us know. January, the end of January, beginning of February, so we can go ahead and let the book committee know, the other committee know, and we can get a date so you guys can have it set in stone. And I think that's it. I wanted to tell you it was going to be short. Jesse, do you have something?
Just a quick question. Sorry, this is Larry. He really wants to be on. Larry Munson for you dog fans. So when do you want our bios?
Nancy, when would you like the bios?
Probably within the next 2 weeks. I already sent out the August newsletter with the announcement that it's a one-day conference. And we'll probably announce about the committee bios in the September newsletter. So
Perfect.
You can, and you can look at the if you have questions about bios, you can look at the one we have now, and it has some of our former members. So, any other questions? If not, just reach out. I look forward to seeing what books are on the list. I wish sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could put this on the list, but I'm like, I hope that one of you guys put it on the list. So I look forward to seeing everyone's books. Anything else? All right, it was nice to meet all of you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good evening.
Bye.
Nancy and Janice, will y'all stay online just for a second? So Nancy, do you have any questions? Am I having some technical difficulties?
Are you there?
I'm there. Are you there? Everything's starting to freeze.